Just wondering if we could just come in for a little while and get out the rain. Didn't you boys hear me? We don't want to do nothing till you're here. But we will. You niggas gotta learn your place. Now you get on out of here. Listen. So, those two black garbage workers, they went out in that rain and they tried to find shelter. But the only shelter that they could find was in the back of a garbage truck. They got in the back of this truck and sat down and started to eat their lunches. As they sat there eating their lunches, lightning struck the switch on the truck and it started. And the two men were trapped and they were crushed and killed. So that's why Martin was down in Memphis, Tennessee to quiet things. But when he arrived, he was so tired, so exhausted, that he asked his good friend Ralph Abernathy to go down to the church and speak on his behalf. Martin, being the man he was, when Ralph called him and told him that these people came to hear you speak, Martin got out of bed and went down to the church, and it took more than an hour to introduce him. And when he arrived at the podium, Martin would give his last speech because the next day he would die. And what Martin said to the people was,
I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But I'm not really worried about that now, because I've been to the mountaintop. And I don't mind. Like anyone, I like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned with that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountaintop. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. Now I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. For mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Martin fell back and they caught him and they took him to rest back at the motel. He inspired me so much. That's why I had to stand up for what I believe. I am part of the ANC. It's not a tattoo because they don't give matches to me. It's cold. But it's not how it's written. It's what I feel inside when I know that one day we will be free too, like the black Americans, how they have to fight and struggle. We will be free too. They cannot stop us. Martin always used to joke because it would ease the tensions. April 4th, 1968, Lorraine. Yeah. As Martin stood on the balcony, waving goodbye to Jesse Jackson and his brother down in the parking lot. They heard what sounded like firecracker. They looked up, and all they could see was Martin's feet dangling over the edge of the balcony. And they thought he was joking, as he did many times before. And they called to Martin and they said, Martin, come on now, stop joking. Martin didn't answer, didn't move. They went to him and saw that he had been shot around the head and neck area. They tried their best to save his life. But Martin Luther King Jr. died that day. I remember hearing the speech of Robert A. Kennedy on the radio. A white man talking about a black man in a good way, in a proud way, after his death. I remember, I couldn't believe that a white man would say this and believe it.
I have bad news for you. For all of our fellow citizens and people who love peace all over the world. And that is that Martin Luther King was shot and killed tonight. Martin Luther King dedicated his life to love and to justice for his fellow human beings. And he died because of that effort. In this difficult day, in this difficult time for the United States, it is perhaps well to ask what kind of a nation we are, in what direction we want to move in. For those of you who are black, considering the evidence, there evidently is that there were white people who were responsible. You can be filled with bitterness, with hatred, and a desire for revenge. We can move in that direction as a country in great polarization. Black people amongst black, white people amongst white, filled with hatred toward one another. Or we can make an effort, as Martin Luther King did, to understand and to comprehend and to replace that violence, the stain of bloodshed that is spread across our land, with an effort to understand, with compassion and love.
I remember hearing these words, and I believed that they could work for us here in South Africa. And I still believe. I want you, my children, to know one thing, one word that will always set you free. This word is the word of life and liberty. Justice. And in the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., freedom.